It seems that I can't stop purchasing lamps. I'm a lamp fiend. My electricity bill is probably going to be out of control just because of me wanting to get this shot, but that's okay. In the winter months, I'm pretty sure that my lamps prevent me from getting seasonal depression. Look at this lamp and tell me you don't feel anything. If you said no, you're lying. You're lying to yourself. That lamp is gorgeous. When I was in college, I used to live in apartments with the worst lighting ever. It felt like I was living in a prison, and because of it, I was very anxious. So when I moved to my new apartment, I really wanted to prioritize good lighting to make it feel a lot more cozy and not so anxiety-inducing. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys every lamp that I own and talk about reasons why I like them or don't like them. It would be very cool if you guys watched to the end because I worked very hard on this video. Out of all of the celebrity house tours on AD, I think Troye Sivan's blew every celebrity house out of the water. I love how he incorporates a lot of Japanese style lamps throughout his house. Initially, I was thinking of getting actual paper lamps like the ones that Troye Sivan used. I had to be very honest with myself. Those lamps cost like $200 plus. I tend to manhandle a lot of my things, not intentionally, but sometimes I manhandle some items and they end up breaking. I feel like if I had a paper lamp like that, by the end of the week, there's gonna be 3 holes in it. That's just the reality. I wanted something more sturdy, which is why I got this one from Etsy. I think it's very soothing to look at. The lampshade is reminiscent of that origami folded pattern, and I really love how it looks. The style of this lamp reminds me of a crossover between Scandinavian and Japanese design. The lampshade itself is made of this 3D printed plastic. The material is not my favorite because it's very lightweight. It does feel very, very cheap. To be honest, I have a love-hate relationship with this lamp. I wish they would have done like something a little heavier on the base since it's so easy to knock over. Also, the lampshade isn't secure, it just sits on top of the base, so it does knock over quite easily. It's just a little unstable. So I kind of just put this lamp in areas where there's not that much activity, so it could just be left alone and do its thing. When I first got this lamp, I was expecting to use it as like a main light source in my bedroom, and I don't know what I was on because this is just not the lamp for that. I think the smaller diameter of the lampshade compresses the light and just doesn't let the light reach as far. This works better as a decorative lighting piece. I just needed to readjust my expectations for the type of lamp this is. Okay, so I used to think lamps that looked like this was very boring because, you know, there's nothing much going on, not too many bells and whistles. It's a very standard vertical lamp. But I saw this in an episode of Dynasty, and I saw this lamp in the background. And just by seeing the lamp in context of the rest of the room, I thought it actually looked quite nice. I got this lamp off of Wayfair for about $100, so I thought it was quite a steal. However, quality-wise, it's a mess. If I bump into this lamp one more time, I wouldn't be surprised if the lamp gets up one day and decides to start taking itself apart because it really does seem like it has one foot out the door. Now, the hardware is a disaster. Supposedly, you can adjust the height of the lamp, but whenever I do it, I feel like I'm gonna get electrocuted. So there's that. I feel like whenever I'm picking it up, I'm deadlifting a barbell. And actually when I do pick it up, I assume the deadlifting position because that's how heavy this lamp is. I don't know what they put in it. On the lampshade, there are like random red marks on it. It's like someone was putting together the lampshade and thought it'd be cute to add like a little bit of red flair. And while I'm here for the creativity, I am not a fan of the execution. From a distance, you might not be able to tell that there's like random bits of red. I guess it's okay. It was $100, so I can't ask too much of it. But aesthetically, I think it does its job. It does look very nice, as long as you don't look too close, as with a lot of the other lamps on this list. Something I realized like buying all of these lamps is that I really do care about the quality, even if like just by looking at it you can't tell. I can tell. I just don't get the same good vibes that I get from a lamp that I know is truly high quality and I know that works well and is reliable. So this is why you shouldn't skimp on furniture and that you should be really thoughtful about making investments in the furniture you buy. Furniture is one of those things that is like, wow, that is really expensive. It can really feel like a lot of money just for something simple like a lamp. I think it's way more shocking when you're buying furniture for the first time and just realizing like the market price for all of these very simple items. When it comes to that, I try to like tell myself it's more of an investment, and I think in the long run it is worth it, and you probably end up saving more money if you just like buy a really nice piece instead of buying a really cheap piece and then replacing it with something else in the future. But if you're just looking for something to get the job done, then it's totally understandable if you don't want to like drop $500 on a chair. This lamp is so handsome. Look at it. This lamp was a little bit expensive. It was $179. I was looking for lamps under $200. Every single lamp that I saw online, I just hated. I just didn't like how any of them looked. It was too like college chic, and I wanted something more elevated. This was the one that spoke to me the most. I was very adamant about finding a lamp with some sort of wood incorporated into the fixture. It was very hard to find. A lot of them were made of metal. I really love the hardware. The hardware is so delicious. I also like how heavy this lamp is. I can tell it's very high quality. You get a USB little thingamajig. I don't really use it that often, but it's there. Yeah, I also want to talk about how gorgeous this choice was, where this metal kind of wraps around the cylinder. I think that's really what sold me. I wanted to see how it was like to have a desk lamp that wasn't a traditional cone shape. I feel like the cone concentrates the light too much. This one kind of spreads it outwards from the side. If this lamp were reincarnated as a man, it would be a fuckboy. It looks deceptively beautiful. It looks deceptively reliable. While it looks very handsome, it's not providing every single one of my needs, just a few of them. It's very black and white. It's on or off, no dimming, no nuance, just like a fuckboy. It's not as flexible as you think. So I thought you could twist this part like 360, but it doesn't twist. It only moves side to side, like 180, or it can move up and down like that. The problem with that for me is that I get really intense migraines when I look into light, and since this part is kind of exposed, I wanted to be able to like turn this away from my face, but you can't do that. So that really sucks. At least it looks cool. Yeah. I do wish there was flexibility with changing the color. It's not giving hospital, but what's like the next step up from hospital lighting? Like dental office. Dental office lighting is a little better, I guess. If I were to have another chance at this, I probably wouldn't buy this again because of the nature of this light rod, and it's an LED built-in fixture. So what that means is that you have to throw this entire lamp away and buy a new one because you can't replace the lights. Okay, this lamp out of all the lamps I own is my absolute favorite. I'm pretty sure this lamp is the only reason why my mental health is intact whatsoever. It's that good. It just somehow tucks away a lot of anxiety in my head. Just by looking at it, I like feel like a hit of like serotonin. She's very beautiful. This was like the second lamp that I bought when I was moving into this apartment, and I splurged on it. I fell so in love with it, and I wanted to invest in a lamp that I would have for the rest of my life. The thing that stood out for me when this came in the mail compared to any of the lamps I got was how high quality this is. Like, the construction is very nice. I love how sturdy this lampshade is. I can't really say the same for some of my other lamps. I can tell just by touching it, like it doesn't move around. There's nothing weird going on the lampshade material. I've been very obsessed with lampshades that have texture. The ones that are just solid are so boring, and like having a textured lampshade is a very nice way to incorporate textures into your apartment. Another reason I really love this lamp is because of its size. If you pick the wrong size, the lamp can overwhelm the furniture that surrounds it, and this nightstand that it's sitting on is quite small. So this size is perfect. If this lamp were a man, he would be the type of guy who would always return your text messages. He would always communicate his feelings before they got out of hand. This type of guy is very reliable. He would never gaslight you. He would always show up on time to your dates. This is how I would describe this lamp. Yes. One of my favorite things about this lamp is how it's olive green. I love olive green. It is the accent color that I chose for my apartment. I feel like all of my furniture is very symmetric. Having a piece that isn't symmetric can add a lot of like character. Okay, another thing that's very underrated in lamps is the cord that comes with it. So this cord feels so nice. It's very flexible. It's also covered in a fabric, so it feels very comfortable to hold. And the switch is also very satisfying to like flip. So like, I love it. I just really fucking love this lamp. The box that this lamp came in was indestructible. Whoever is the packaging designer at West Elm needs a raise because that box was so hard to open. It required 2 people to open. It's a very strong piece of cardboard box, I have to say. Some lamps in my apartment are a mess, although they look good from a distance. Up close, they're a mess. This one is not a mess. There's just nothing about this that I don't like at all. Can't think of one thing. I have been fantasizing about buying a tripod lamp for like years. Something that no one ever talks about with the tripod lamp is how much space the legs can take up. Since it is a tripod shape, it has to be kind of wide so it's stable. This lamp came in an Amazon package, and it's weird because I didn't order this off Amazon. I got it off of Brightech, which seemed like its own brand, but I think Amazon owns Brightech. I mostly love this lamp because it's very aesthetically pleasing, and it was $99, which is very, very cheap for a floor lamp like this. I do love how this lamp has really beautiful wooden legs. They are very thick, which is exactly how I wanted them to be. The hardware up here is quite nice. This is the only lamp I've gotten where the lampshade is disassembled and you have to put it together. It felt very arts and crafts, very DIY. Since the lampshade is something you have to put together, if you look up close, it's not perfectly circular. You can see like some of the folds when it was in the package. There's literally Velcro. Like, that is ghetto. I mean, clearly they were trying to make this lamp as cheap as possible. It kind of was cheap, so like I get it. Usually floor lamps that look like this cost like $150 to like $200, but this was only $99. If you want something that's kind of cheap and you just kind of want to get the job done, I would recommend this. But if you're looking for something that would last forever, I would look somewhere else. I do wish they figured out something with this cord. It's just dangling down in the middle. It just looks a little strange. When you assemble this, the legs come in like this jigsaw piece of wood. They don't fit together very perfectly. They kind of have like little edges that stick out. For the price, I think it looks very beautiful from a distance. Just don't look too close because she's a little rugged, but that's okay. The legs are a little bit misaligned, but who isn't misaligned? Now this lamp has seen some shit. This lamp has been with me through the trenches when I was in college. I studied computer science and graphic design in college, which meant that I had no social life and felt very alone because no one in my classes wanted to be friends. Despite putting forward a good effort to make friends with people in my classes, no one wanted to talk. So I guess the stereotype about computer science majors is very true, having lived through it myself. It has also seen me break down multiple times in front of my computer because the programming assignments were just impossible to do. I got this at a Goodwill for like $5. It was so cheap. If you're also a college student, I highly recommend going to your thrift store and going to the lamp section. Sometimes they'll even let you test it out and like plug it into a wall. I don't really use it as a desk lamp. I actually use this lamp in my kitchen. I turn this head towards the wall so that it bounces the light off and like kind of adds some ambient light to my kitchen. I really like the hardware on this lamp. It's very industrial style. I like the on and off switch. It's very satisfying. One thing I wish was different is how big the lampshade is. In college, I had a very puny desk. I felt like the lampshade overwhelmed the size of my desk and felt very disproportionate. Because this lamp is thrifted, I don't mind a lot of its limitations, like the mount or the fact that the lampshade isn't very flexible. In the kitchen, it's totally fine. You know what? For a lamp that's $5, this is legit. This is good quality. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed because I put a lot of effort into it, but I will see you in the next one. Bye.